Have you ever been absolutely ridiculously, unnecessarily anxious for no reason whatsoever? Hi, welcome to my life. Um, it's the middle of the night. I should be walking my cats because that's what I normally do in the middle of the night because I'm an absolute weirdo. Today is Gingerbread Day. Sorry for the spoiler if you're looking at my Instagram and I keep putting up hints about what's going on. What is going on is I've lost my mind again. Okay, so what is going on? By the way, this silly little puzzle here, this thing is ridiculous. I bought at the Natural History Museum in New York City. The one where, again, if you're looking at my Instagram, you'll see I thought it was adorable. They were actually doing vaccination for COVID inside the museum, which I have had my third one. Maybe that's the problem. I should not contribute to that insanity. Anyway, they had a giant whale in one of the halls with a Band-Aid because the whale had gotten its vaccination. Because, awesome. I am very pro-vaccination. The reason I am pro-vaccination is my son, 196 years ago, when he was 4 years old, had a very severe reaction to the vaccinations he was required to get. And, it bothers me to this day to talk about because he could not get vaccines until he was about 12. They weren't sure what happened, if he just got a normal case of cellulitis or if he really was allergic. So he couldn't have his vaccines, and then the school he went to had you got all these privileged people that are like, oh, well, it might cause autism, so I'm not going to give my kid a vaccine, and I'm going, come on, ironically, my son does have autism. I'm not going to give the kids vaccines because, I have to, and, ended up with a whooping cough outbreak at the school, which my son had no way of fighting because he was not able to have a vaccine because he had had an allergic reaction. Which I don't know if he actually outgrew it. Anyway, this is not the type of stuff you listen to on this channel. It's middle of the night. I should be taking the cats for a walk. However, a couple problems with that. One, it is freezing out, literally. But two, had a little issue with Pansy. That's the black and white older cat. That she was out, and apparently she was out too long. And I don't know if she just freaked out or what, got hungry. But she came in and she was in pretty obvious distress. Not anything to take her to the vet for, but something that really needed to be addressed. She is on quite a few medications. For arthritis, mostly. She has other medical issues, but the arthritis is serious. It really affects her quality of life, and she's in a lot of pain. But she was starving, and I think it's the cold and being outside, and because she didn't go for a walk, but apparently she was freezing and starving and came in and she was really upset and I thought she was in pain. I don't know if she was in pain or she was just starving or both. Because she has this one type of annoyingly rare food, and that's the only thing she'll take her medicines in. And so she normally gets one little packet of that a day. But she came in acting starving, and I'm like, okay, well, but I didn't know because she was just crying. So, she was clearly looking for food, and she was crying a lot. I was like, okay, maybe it's her arthritis because it's cold out. That bothers it. So I gave her an extra dose of her pain meds, which is still actually under. Well, actually, no. She definitely got to and maybe exceeded the amount that the doctor would have said that she would be getting her prescription in a given day. But still, I mean, normally she's like almost half of what the actual prescription is that she takes or she doesn't need. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna give her, I call it a snack. I mean, we have different rules and different words for different things with the cats that they know. So, like, you know, there's their food, and then there's treats, and then there's snacks. It's all different. Anyway, so I gave her this wet food that she has that I normally mix in all of her medications. I only put in the pain med. She gobbled that down and was still hungry. She's like, you got to be kidding me. So I gave her a second packet of food. This is the third she's had today. She gobbled that down. The third one didn't have any medicine in it, but still. Concerning. So she is now sleeping because she's had an extra dose of her pain meds today, which I don't know exactly how they affect her, but she's asleep. And I don't want to be too far from her, so I can't take a walk. It might help me if I went for a walk. I am super anxious today. I am super anxious because I don't know why. I do know why. Why do I lie? Okay, I don't lie. I'm super anxious because I've got a massive amount of work that I've been doing lately, including changing the amount of, I've sort of like, for the longest time, I was like, I am not doing anything sort of advanced or supervisory or anything like that at my job. I'm going to do my little job and that's it. I'm done. And we've been understaffed for a really long time, and it's just like I've given in and I've started doing more than I'm actually really wanting to do at work. And of course that means I'm also doing more hours, and it's really gross. Well, there goes Pansy, really slow, and I think that's the middle. Anyway, massive amount of stress there. I really, the real last video I put up was one of those ones that I put up and I take right down. So the one that I actually kept up, though, a lot of people were saying, oh, look, you're happy. Okay, pendulum doesn't last, it never lasts. Because I came down pretty quick from, I mean, again, it's the trips that make me happy. And the trips, I can't continue, like, I can't do the trips 24 hours every day of the year, because what will happen is then it will lose its effectiveness. And so I need these little, like I said, except I'm doing a bigger one next year. I've decided to try to do small little trips more frequently to continue to have that effect. But the work stress gets to you. Even when you've got a job that is pretty adaptable to avoidant personality disorder, it still gets to you. And it does, work like crazy. It's going to get you. I hope that hearing me mess around with this puzzle pieces is not driving you crazy. But I was wondering, it actually crossed my mind and I almost articulated and said aloud, even though it would only been Pansy that heard me. So I'm wondering if anyone out there, basically says, okay, screw it, I'm going to do something that will distract my anxiety. Why am I having anxiety? I'm having... really? Am I really going to do this? Am I really going to say this out loud? Okay. If you've been around, a while back you saw that I made a gingerbread church. Well, this year I've decided to make, well, if it's on Instagram, I'm not putting this on Instagram, so they will maybe still have the question mark of what's going on. If you've seen the pictures on Instagram, they are the little bit of the... Is Pansy coming back? Yes, Pansy come back. Because the problem is I haven't made a pattern. How am I supposed to do this without a pattern? I am attempting to make a gingerbread house. I am attempting to make a gingerbread carousel that actually turns. I think I figured it out as far as what I need to do that. Tomorrow is, or today technically, is gingerbread day. It's the day that I'm going to make all of the panels for this thing. I have not made the pattern. I haven't had time. Sort of worked out the mechanics of what I would do. I don't know, it stressed me out because it is a challenge and I feel like I absolutely need to meet it. Also, well, I sort of have, I've decided that if possible, I'm going to enter it in the state competition. My state is very small. That doesn't mean much. And as far as getting recognition, that doesn't mean much either. However, what they do is they auction the houses off for charity, and that's my motivation. However, it's very stressful. I haven't had time to sort of... if you've seen it on Instagram, I made a pattern for the roof. Okay, I did that. That's all I've done. I figured out the mechanics of how I can get this thing to move and what I need to do, but as far as any sort of the mechanics of what actually is going to take place on this thing, I have no idea. So basically tomorrow I'm making the gingerbread and I am going to make gigantic panels of the stuff that I can cut down. And it's supposed to be a distraction. It would be the type that would really distract me because it would take so much of my energy to pull off. Of course, doing it publicly makes everything worse. So, of course, I'm going to do it publicly to make it worse because that's what I do. I don't know. I still keep having recurrences of my fabulous little eating disorder, which, okay, there's a few reasons why people would have eating disorders. In my case, without a doubt, clearly, it's a reaction to not being able to control my life. You know, I can't control things like how nuts work is, how, you know, if I'm going to get a cat that's sick. I thought that I had the terrible idea a few weeks ago. I mean, this is a bad idea. Last Christmas morning, my cat Pixie died, and why would I think this? Pixie's sister is Pansy, the one that's having the little issues right now. Why would I think the most awful thing of, you know, what if I had 2 cats die Christmases, on 2 consecutive Christmases? Why would I think that? That's pretty bothersome. And to have that as a thought to distract me, you know, that it's that extreme and that rotten and that terrible and that, I mean, that's like not a nice thought. I mean, it's not like, you know, I mean, this is just a thought. It's not like one of the, you know, infamous daydreams that people with avoidant personality disorder have. It's just a thought, but I mean, when I stop thinking about work, even like creative stuff for charity, like make a stupid gingerbread house. The heck? That is the strangest piece I think I've ever seen, because that's not one of these oddball space pieces. That's just like a random weird extra piece. Anyways, yeah. So my anxiety is at such a point that I'm like, you know, I'm doing all this other crap, but I think I'm going to stop in the middle of the night and start a puzzle because it will distract me. It's very physical because you have to go through these pieces to find the edges and stuff. And there's a very good chance that I'm going to sort of go through this one little find the edges sort and then crash. But I mean, that is the point, is that here's another stupid piece. See this? No, this one. Can't see through this my phone. I mean, what a strange looking piece that is. These two together. I wonder if they actually fit together. There, I've already done the first pieces. I don't know. So I'm wondering, I mean, as far as therapy is concerned, what people would do is start drinking, because, yeah, as a distraction technique, we do something mind-numbing, literally. Well, this is pretty. It's a distraction. I don't know. Why would I contribute to my stress? I mean, I've made gingerbread houses before. Why would I try to get them judged? I mean, this is the thing. People with avoidant personality disorder can't stand being judged, right? Well, why would I actively go out and try to get judged? I don't know. Creating stress to distract me from other stress. That's what I'm doing. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure I could break it down and find a reason why and say, oh, well, here's the explanation, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? It'd probably be correct. That there is actually some kind of real explanation. But this is driving me crazy. I'm not even aiming it near what I'm doing. I'm just going click, click, click with these stupid pieces. Some weird ASMR. I bet y'all are going, why don't you go back to a waterfall if you're going to do some weird ASMR thing? This is me assuming I'm going to be judged by the people that are watching the videos. This is me assuming I'm going to be judged every second of my life. This is me actively going after a judgment. Because again, tomorrow or today or whatever, like I haven't gone to sleep yet, so as far as I'm concerned, it's tomorrow. Oh, where did that go? There it is. Tomorrow is gingerbread day. I'm going to be making mounds of gingerbread and attempting to turn it into shapes that I can use to make my new project. Even though I don't have a pattern, because I have to make a pattern. And it's stressful. Why haven't I done it? There's a lot of things that it's like I wish I could do. I want to do. I've not been able to force myself to do it because I spend obscene amounts of time working. I mean, like, just crazy. That one. Like, what the heck? Anyway. So, it's middle of the night. All my normal techniques have not worked. I've gone through about 5 of them. And so I'm sorting through this puzzle. There's an excellent chance that as soon as I'm done, I'll be like, well, I don't have the time or the space. Is that a curve? No. To actually do the puzzle. So now that I've sorted it, I'm probably going to just like chuck it all back together and resort it later. So I'm just wondering, is there, I mean, other than, I think that's a cut, going for substances. What kind of defaults do you have to distract yourself from anxiety or whatever? This is a strange puzzle. Oh, look at my chopped up fingers. I don't look at my chopped up fingers. Oh, I need to turn this video thingy off. Yes, I'm mean to my hands. I do all kinds of things with my hands. Nancy's doing great. She is a little bit high at the moment, I think. Probably also completely annoyed with me because, excuse me, it is the middle of the night. Why am I not asleep? I mean, it's one thing if I'm working. Oh, now I'm shaking on top of it. I've probably been shaking the whole time. But this is what I do. I do dumb things like sorting puzzles to distract myself from whatever the stress is. Because the stress keeps coming and it's just a matter of finding an adaptive coping technique, like sorting a stupid puzzle, to deal with it. And unfortunately, I think I'm done with this sort. I actually have to put it together, maybe? I don't know. I'm sorry if I've bummed out people who were going, yay, everything seems to be going okay now. It isn't, but that's okay that it isn't. It isn't, and I know why. And I just have to sort of figure out how am I going to cope with the why. The why is that it wouldn't matter, even if I had like the perfect job, it wouldn't matter, it wouldn't be enough. And putting all my energy into work, that's not the type of thing that sort of like, it's just not, it's not ever going to make up for anything to do with having relationships in my life. It is not a good substitution at all. Is that a straight line? That's a straight line. So as long as I'm trying to sort of stuff my life with things that are sort of like emotionally unfulfilling, it's not going to work. That's why if I do multiple things, then it works a little bit better than one big thing, because one big thing, and at some point you're like, what have I been wasting my life doing here? Well, right now I'm wasting my life putting puzzle pieces into a box top. And if I did this for 10 hours a day, I'd probably want to go completely mad. But right now, for half an hour or whatever, playing with puzzle pieces is a distraction that works. So, I don't know. Just pay attention to that sort of thing. Realize what is a distraction. Realize what actually really works. And, I don't know. I really don't. If I knew the answers, then I would fix my own life. I don't know the answers. Puzzle dust. See the puzzle dust? Okay, those are the regular pieces. I'm just going to squeeze this in like this. And those are the edges. These are the very weird pieces. And those are the corners. I don't know. Maybe I can, find a book or something now. As a further distraction from the fact that I'm working so much, and tomorrow I have to do a quote-unquote fun thing of making 36 sheets of gingerbread, maybe? I don't know. An obscene number of pieces of gingerbread for a house that I might actually be able to construct and then put it into a competition that I don't care about whatsoever, but still it's a competition, which means I'm going to be judged. What the hell is wrong with me? It's something that should, it's a terrible word, should be fun. But instead, I'm adding stress to my life in order to distract myself from the real issues. And I'm aware of it, and I think that's better than not being aware of it. But clearly these distraction things, whether I plan them or not, they just keep coming up, and I really need to sort of figure out a better way instead of a way to distract and to cope. I don't know. If I figure it out, I'll let you know. Bye.